Welcome back everyone to our Guidance City YouTube channel with the program COVID से लड़ाई psychologist के साथ. And today our guest is not a psychologist but a psychiatrist. Welcome to Dr. Mansa Ram. She is a psychiatrist from Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Welcome,
Hello
ma'am, to our.
everyone. Very
Ma'am,
good
how are you
evening to
feeling?
everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Ma'am, as I just came across with all those psychologists, and they are also like talking about different kind of patient during this pandemic, like from last year till date. So, what type of cases you are getting these days?
Basically, I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist. So recently, I have a lot of child cases like increased screen time, decreased attention span, and like a lot of autism cases in which there was increased in behavioral issues. Also, even for normal kids, also there are a lot of behavioral issues which parents are complaining, and also the attention span of the child has decreased, and they are in cooperative at home and increased screen time. And coming to the adult cases, recently I have seen a lot of increase in the COVID anxiety and also people dealing with the grief reaction, like because of the loss of their loved ones recently. So these cases I have been coming through from last few days.
Okay. Okay, so ma'am, as you said that you are mainly dealing with children and adolescents. So, what are those differences you are getting from last year to this year?
Actually, last year it was like I was seeing mostly dealing with the plain cases like ADHD or autism or behavioral issues or ODD, such kind of cases. But here I have seen a lot of increase in the screen time of the child, and parents were unable to tackle those issues. Like even if they guide them not to take the screen and all, but they won't listen to them. And even the kids are also getting bored what to do at home, like because of lot of holidays and all. So these things I have seen, and a lot of increase in the behavioral issues also. Even a normal means like previously the child used to be very much obedient with the parents and all. Now the child has become adamant, and also for the online classes also the child is unable to focus. So there was drastic decrease in the concentration of the child. So that has impacted on the normal learning of the child also. Though initially the child was able to focus during the homework and also when he was studying at home. Now through the online classes, though he's getting some stuff from the school, in terms of online sessions, but he's unable to adjust to those classes and to grasp something which can be helpful to him for his studies. So it has become burden on the parents to make him focus on the studies and also to make him learn. So
Right.
these things I have seen very much hike in recently.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. So, ma'am, as you said that right now the screen time for those children have increased and they are more into online classes, online everything.
Yeah.
So, what I think that people are also like becoming a little bit addicted with online as everything is online. So,
Yes, yes.
what type of suggestion you usually like, suggest people, like what would be your guidance to people who are into this kind of behavioral issue or adjustment issue they are facing during this pandemic stage and during this online life?
Actually, now it is like online has become part of our life, or like that, even for kids and also like for adults also. It's like work from home, which we do online, and also like the consultations we take, like at least 50% of the consultations are through online. So in the same way, the kids also, it has become like inevitable thing in their life. But the basic thing is like we need to adjust the time, like the online, the screen time should be adjusted, that it should be used only for the professional purpose. Because like there are like a few parents who think that what they will do, like being at home, so let them enjoy watching television or like a cartoon or something, or play video games or like that, but they are not understanding the deleterious effects it might have. Usually in the younger age, what happens is the brain grows, like in terms of language development or social emotional development, all these happen in the growing age through their interaction with the society and the family. But when the screen time increases, what happens is that their ability means like the it limits the areas they are focusing to learn. So the like there is limited play time, so there is the imaginative skill development in the child also decreases. There is also detrimental effect in the language development of the child, even the attention span, the reading skills of the child also will decrease, and overall thinking of the child also decrease, which in future may land up in the poor quality of life. The child may land up in depressive symptoms, unhealthy diet habits, and that will lead to obesity anyway. So like I ask the parents usually to always maintain some screen time, means like always have a scheduled time for that. Means like if the child is having classes, schedule the time for the screen, like if it is about 9 to 1, so make it like the strict timing should be followed always. And always there should be screen zones also. Means like the screen can be used in the so and so parts of the house only. So there should be screen free zones at home, like dining table, bedroom, those areas should be always screen free. And parents should set as a model for them. Means like the parents are going and watching the TV, or like they are chatting with their friends a lot of time on the mobile and all, and if they advise the kids not to do that, they won't listen anyway. So they should be an example for them and use the screen only for the professional purpose. And we should ensure that the child should have some alternative pleasurable activities instead of the screen, which should mostly increase the physical activities, like either running or some other activities, anything, jogging or some playing some badminton or some tennis, or like whichever is available during this pandemic. And always like be a media mentor for the child, means like what should be watched and what shouldn't be watched. And coming to the adolescent, what happens is like though we ask them not to be on the social media, they do some way or other. So rather than like restricting them completely, try to like build some fixed rules for them, so that they can what should be done on the social media, and what and how to maintain the privacy setting and all we should teach them. And teach them not to disclose any personal information on the social media. And we can use like media content blocking or filtering strategies also. Some apps are available, those things the parents can use. These things are usually advised for the parents.
Okay, that's good to know that you used to share so many tips with your clients, and these are really very helpful. And we need to be very much concerned with this thing, that screen zone and everything. Ma'am, as you are working right now, and you're also like into this psychiatric area and dealing with so many patients there, and also you have your own family. Right,
Yeah.
you're also a human being and you're
Yeah.
somehow balancing the work and family. So,
Yes.
whenever there is any challenging situation like this, the screen issues with screen time, or as people are also talking about that they are having some problem with their attention span due to this
Mm.
continuous exposure to screen. So, there are some like some other issues you're also facing with you yourself, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
how are you tackling all those stuff with yourself?
Yeah, like it is little difficult to handle in this pandemic time, because like a lot of uncertainty around, like when we will be busy, or like when we will have some sessions, or like because of online things, like we are not unable to have some scheduled timings. And because of this grief and all, there might be like a few people might be calling like some odd hours also. So they might be expecting us to help in some way or other. So like first, like I have like first what I do is like I schedule, like I have planned some lifestyle changes, like I regularly include some exercise every day, both indoor and outdoor. Like I try to play some badminton every day, like at least half an hour to 45 minutes every day, and some indoor activities also. And I plan my diet accordingly, so that like I try 90% not to include junk in my food. So I plan some homemade food only, weight management, and try to include some yoga and meditation every day. In the morning I do some exercise, and evening I usually include some yoga. And I try to have some adequate sleep and rest, and I try to schedule everything. Even so, like as I have some kids, like if I don't schedule their studies and all, like their activities also, what they do, they come and disturb me in my activity. So like I schedule accordingly, so that I spend some time with them. and like I try to spend some family time with them. And also what I do is like for coping with the stress also, I usually focus on like either it is problem based or like emotion based. If I have a problem, I usually think like whether it is having a solution or not. So if it is having a solution, I try to focus on the solution. At times there are few problems like there may not be any solution, so I try to focus on the emotion and try to handle those emotions. At times I may become irritable or frustrated, or at times I may go depressed. Look, I try to handle those things rather than like pondering over the problem. So try to tackle the emotions and all. And also what I do is like I try to come out of the uncertainty like as much as possible. So like what I like it may like if I have COVID, then like what I do is like rather than like when I will get or like that, I think like suppose if I have it, then how I'm going to plan everything, how I'm going to plan my thing, how I will get isolated from my family members and everything, how I take care of the things and all. So I'll do a planning ahead look of everything. And also in the evening time, actually what I do is I always do a debriefing with my team members actually. So like what the new things I have learned today, what are all the new cases I have seen today, and also to my friends also I do the same thing. And I learn from them also, like even my team members suggest like things can be done at that time. And even my friends also discuss with me what are the new cases they have seen, how they are handling and all. This debriefing is actually helping me a lot to increase my knowledge and all. And like I'm trying to maintain like a few hobbies, like I have like listening to music I do, and some gardening, like evening alone, like some 15 to 20 minutes I do some work in the garden, then like listening to
That's great.
music. And try to maintain some good sleep cycle. Actually I maintain very well, like I make sure that I have around 8 hours of sleep at night, like 7 to 8 hours at night, continuous sleep without any disturbance. And some prayer and spiritual activities also I do. These things I make sure that they are included in my day every day.
That's great to know about your everyday routine, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, there is a last question that I want
Yeah.
to ask. That, as you know, that third wave is coming up in India, right?
Yeah.
And people are assuming in this way that this time
Mm,
children will be like much more
more
affected only
effective.
because of this reason that
Mm.
still now there is no such vaccine for them.
Yes,
So,
yes.
is there any extra tips you want to share to control that anxiety that is associated with the child's mental health?
Actually, like, see, COVID, this is a pandemic and nobody is immune to that. So, like, either in the first wave or second or third wave, so like, any time, like, we should be prepared for everything that we should get. So, like, a better focus on development of resilience in the family and also the kids. So, basically, resilience is how we bounce back from an inadequacy. So like it will be depend on the both internal factors and external factors. Like external factors is like we are having should a good social support, good family support, and spiritual and religious belief. Like what the spirituality and how prayers help is they try to means like they create a some positive atmosphere around us, so we'll have all the positive thinkings and all. And coming to the internal aspect is like we should prepare and plan, we should predict the things that are going to happen, we should prepare accordingly and plan for the adversity. And we should be flexible accordingly. See like a few months like in April it was like a lot of oxygen scarcity is there, and we were more thinking about the like if oxygen is there we all will be good. But actually if we are little more flexible and see the other alternatives that are available, like oxygen concentrators can be used, and the prone breathing that was encouraged recently, these things also had helped actually. So rather than being rigid, if we are flexible and accept the things which are above our control, some few things aren't our control, so we should accept what is going on, and if there is any solution we should focus on it. Otherwise if then we should focus on the emotion based coping only. So like it's like suppose like a football match or like some boxing match we are playing, so we should like prepare our body first. Like we will be definitely get some kicks and all, so we should train our body. So, and we should learn our weaknesses and also our strength. In the same way, the opponents' ka weaknesses or strengths we should know. In the same way, like the regarding COVID also, how it affects, what are the symptoms we should be cautious about, how to identify if the child is getting infected, what are the symptoms, and when to seek attention of the doctor, and when to go, and what are the serious means, like when it is serious. Means not everyone those means, because the 85% of the infections are very mild. Only 2 to 3% are fatal actually. So like 97% are actually recovering well. So like try to like have these positive thoughts and spread the positivity around rather than having the negativity. And the children being infected isn't like it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Right.
So like one more thing, like the flu vaccine may help the kids also. It's being like spread by the pediatricians around. The
Mhm.
flu vaccine will decrease the intensity of the COVID in kids.
Okay, okay, that's a good news.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing all those information with us related to third wave, and also I am thankful to you that you have shared so many things regarding all those screen time and everything, and how to manage life during this stage. Thank you everyone for watching this program, and I hope you will subscribe on our channel. Yes, please do subscribe on our channel. Do like and share with your friends and family so that they can be informed with all those suggestions shared by all those experts in our Guidance City YouTube channel. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am,
you for
once again for coming up to this show.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Guidance City, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.